Good morning, y'all. I wanted to share with you all my front window. This is where I've been staying for the last 5 days. Let me show my world to you. So I've been playing with a lot of ninjas, and I have quite a few new stories to tell you. So this right here is my beautiful bush that has been providing for me. So I'm gonna kind of take a stroll here, and I'm gonna share some things with you all. I want to mention a few people and tell you all a little bit about them, some of the people that I've met, and then I'm gonna tell you a story that I met a person that I cannot get out of my mind, and I don't want to ramble on when I tell you this story, but it's something that I've never experienced and I can't explain it. So I think if I tell the story, somebody might be able to give me insight. But first off, I want to thank Carol and JD at Coconut Fish Cafe. You all, they have the most delicious salads and most delicious dressings that I've ever had in my life. Well, I don't know, that's tough to say with Lana's prep and her amazing culinary skills. But Carol and JD, I think JD is Carol's nephew. And Carol, I think, owns 3 different chains of the Coconut Fish Cafe. I also want to thank this long-haired ninja, a peaceful man named David. I met him my second day on the island, and I was just playing in a park, and I saw him on a beach cruiser, and he had all these plants in his basket. And I said, "What are those?" And one of them was this delicious red fruit. I made a video of that. I still don't know what it is. Nobody, I don't know what it is, and nobody got back to me. And then he had these leafy greens that he was on his way to the library to find out what those were. And what a beautiful man, what a beautiful soul. So David, I'm really thankful that I've got to meet you so far. Okay, y'all, this chess ninja named RJ, because I go to McDonald's a lot because they have Wi-Fi. It's the only place really where I can get Wi-Fi. And when I go in there, there's a lot of quote unquote homeless people. I'm at the point where I don't even like that word, because I mean, look, if there's like a hotel right there, but I literally have been sleeping with the best view on planet Earth, in my opinion, for free, and they're paying $600 a night. So since they have a square box over their head, that doesn't make them homeless. So anyways, there's a lot of people that don't have boxes over their heads that hang out at McDonald's. And I could tell he was hungry. So I asked him if he wanted something to eat, and he says yes, and I bought him something to eat. And I've done that many times with other quote-unquote homeless people. I've helped them out with food, thanks to all of you, because I use all of the donations that you all have given me, and I spread the love. And if I would have had my bike, which I'm gonna have Tuesday, I could have given them an apple, I could have given them a pear, a pineapple, a coconut, an avocado, fresh spring water, but unfortunately I'm not at that point. And RJ was a very special man. He's been here for 1.5 years, and he's been island hopping, I think, for 6. And he had real high anxiety. Just a really special ninja. And he was playing chess on his phone. And I'm not a big chess player. The last time I played chess was like in 1998, and I was stoned and drunk, and I was in Isla Vista near Santa Barbara. And I remember I knew how the pieces worked, but I didn't play. I didn't have any setups or any defense or any, I just played with a piece that could move. And so it was really amazing because RJ was willing to teach me how to play chess. So we're at McDonald's playing chess on his phone. And normally, you all, I wouldn't even be able to have the capacity to sit down with a stranger and play a game. I probably would have just talked over him. I probably would have lied, told him I was doing something else. So anyways, I just listened to this man, and he was telling me, he was like a very special man, like on the spectrum, a lot of what people have said that I might be. And he watches, he studies the game of chess. And so we literally played, and I listened to him for about an hour and a half. So that means I didn't do anything. I turned my phone off, and I had a conversation, and I shared ideas and learned from him chess and played a game with a complete stranger. And it's probably one of the best times of my life. And I did really well. And that shows me that if I concentrate and be in the moment and be open to listening to others and learning from others and literally just playing with no distractions with any type of human. It doesn't matter what race, where they're from, what their religion is, what their disability is. I'm on Team Human, and it was such an enjoyable experience to play with somebody like that. So I wanted to tell you that. So what I'm doing now is when I'm meeting people, I'm writing their name in this notes app. And then at the end of the day, I kind of relive that experience of, who they were, what we talked about. And so if I see them on the island again, I can already have those memories and I can already remember their names. So it's like we never left. I want to give a shout out to Sir John, y'all. Sir John. Oh my goodness, I hung out with this ninja for like 5 hours and I didn't film it all. And this man could be a superstar. With my ninja skills on social media, I can make him into a mega viral star, and I did not film him. And I'm certain him and I are going to cross paths again very, very soon. And I'm just very thankful I met Sir John, and I'm actually going to keep those stories to myself with him. But if he allows me to play and film him, you all will be extremely entertained, and you will fall in love with this man instantly. So that's Sir John. Wow, he was a lot of fun. Forrest was another rock and rad star ninja that I met at McDonald's when I was creating my vlog and using the Wi-Fi. And he had anxiety as well, and he was quote unquote homeless, didn't have a box over his head. And I bought him 2 sausage McMuffins. Here on Hawaii, a sausage egg McMuffin costs $3.25, and he said, I don't want you to spend the extra money on the egg. And I said, are you sure? He said, yeah. And I got him a coffee. And he was very, very quiet. He stuck to himself, but I could tell there was a lot of fear in him, and I could tell that he's been struggling for a very, very, very long time. He gave me some really good pointers, gave me some tips about the lifestyle. So Forrest, he also lived up north, but a lot of the quote unquote homeless people lived up north. And when that big storm came and all the flooding came, they closed down a certain section of the north. So they all had to migrate south, and so pretty much they lost their spots. People say it's going to reopen those areas by the end of the year. So Forrest, what's up, man? Sean, very, very cool ninja. He was about I think he was like 55 years old. Gave me a lot of tips on hammocks. So far, I haven't used my tent once, y'all. I've got this beautiful bush that has been serving me. Here's my bush. What? That is the bush that has been providing for me, y'all. And it rains so hard, and so that's just where I go. Thank goodness I have that mat right there. But I haven't been able to set up my tent just because there's no place, and it would just take a lot of time and effort. And so Sean showed me his setup. He's been island hopping for 12 years. And so what this ninja does is it's only cost like $75 for a plane ride to each island. And so he has this nice little setup. It's just a backpack. He has a hammock, he has a tarp, and then every time he goes to a new island, he just gets on Craigslist and does odd jobs, and he just gets to travel. So he showed me his setup, and it's inspired me. I've got to raise some funds to get a hammock. They're pretty cheap, but I think that's the way to go. Jill, I met Jill when I was at that event, volunteering at that park, and very interesting woman. She had sunglasses on, but there was that certain vibe there, and she walked straight up to me, and she said, "You're new?" I said, "Yes." And she said, "Here's my phone number. You know, Kauai is a very, very beautiful place, very different place. If you have any questions, you let me know." And so she gave me her phone number. Eric was a 6'7", really, really cool ninja. He had dumpster duty at that event where we were karate chopping logs that were in the ocean and all these sticks. Very, very nice and kind gentleman. So that was Eric. Casey with a K. Casey, K-S-S-E-Y. She is the head maid, the general manager at the most beautiful Hilton where I volunteered at that park. And I believe she was about 55 years old. Super, super kind lady. She taught me a lot about the area. Taught me a lot about some of these nuts that we had found. Talked about a little bit of the history of the coastline. She was a lot of fun to play with. Michelle was in charge of the first aid section at that event. Another kind lady. Everybody's been very, very kind to me. So here we go, y'all. I'm gonna tell you an experience that I had, and I'm just gonna wrap. Let's see if I can turn this around. I got a little light here. Let's see if this works. Y'all see me? You guys see me? So I was driving around with Dee. I always forget her name. Her name is Dee, and she went live in the group. And let me see which one lighting. This is good. She went live in the group, and she picked me up. I was hitchhiking. She picked me up. She said, "Hey, I saw you in a group. I saw you live." I was like, "Cool." So she picked me up and drove me to the park. And then she went live in the group, and I saw her the next day, and she was going to Safeway, and so she gave me another ride. And when I was in Safeway, there was this other lady, beautiful, beautiful woman. You can tell that she has a lot of light inside of her. And we met eyes, and she wouldn't stop staring at me. She was just got her groceries. She was at the market, a farmer's market, and she had just got done putting her groceries in her trunk. And we met eyes, and she wouldn't stop looking at me. And so I smiled, and then I waved, and she just kept staring at me. And it wasn't a kind stare. It wasn't a bad stare. It wasn't an evil stare. It was just a stare. Like she was staring inside of me. Like she already knew who I was. Like we had met before. And then, after probably about 15 to 20 seconds of us just looking at each other, and I smiled and I waved, she looked at the person that I was with. And then she looked at the other person that she was with. And I don't know what happened at this point. I don't know what was going on. And then she looked back at me. And she kept staring at me. And then we kept driving. But I can't get that woman out of my head. And I mean, I can make some assumptions. I don't know, because this whole religion thing, I'm so confused about religion. Is this a dream? You know, am I God? Is nature God? You know, is Jesus, God's son? Who's Buddha? All of this stuff. But that woman that I locked eyes with, I know she knows me. She's met me in another realm, another planet. I don't know, but this woman has done something to me just by the look. And it's like she was there as maybe an angel, like my protector, maybe to guide me along this journey in this island. I don't know, but this woman, just her face and the way that she looked and the way that I felt when I looked at her, I've never felt before. It's like time stopped. It's like she looked into me. It's like when we were looking, she went into my brain or my heart, like inside of me. And it's like I didn't freeze, I could still move, but it felt like an eternity. It was the most, I don't even know what to call it. It was an experience. And what I'm finding out here, y'all, there's a lot of different mixed human beings here, just like all around the world. But I can tell you this, and I'll get some heat, but you know how I keep it raw and stay rad. And this is just more of like a rant. I don't know if I should say this, but I'm gonna say it. A lot of the locals here, it seems to me, after, you know, we invaded their land and took their property and all of that stuff, you know, just like the Indians on the mainland. You know, I lived in Arizona, I grew up in Arizona, and a lot of the Indians are obese. You know, that a lot of them are allergic to alcohol. And a lot of the times, you know, when you are poor financially, or, you know, maybe as a second-class citizen, you don't have access to the living food. You don't have access to a lot of things. And what I'm seeing here is a lot of the locals work most of the local jobs, and a lot of the locals are obese. And a lot of the locals, to me, seem like they don't have that shining light. And that's just from what I've seen so far. And I'm sure there's hundreds of thousands of rock and rad stars here that are locals, that have that light, that have that enlightenment, that are striving to be, you know, the best. But it seems to me the locals here have the most poverty, and it seems to me that they don't have the best utilities or tools or help. And then there's a lot of people that come here to heal, like myself, and are putting in the work and are eating the fresh fruits and juices. They're staying out of the yummy nastiness. They're not in the Taco Bells, the McDonald's, the Starbucks, where a lot of the locals are. And again, this is just a generalization. But when I run into the people, like I ran into a woman yesterday at the UPS store when I picked up the phone that Lana sent me and a rearview mirror for my bike, and we caught eyes. And she lives in Princeville. And then we caught eyes, and then we started talking because she's from Scottsdale, Arizona, which used to be my hood when I lived in Arizona. And she is in Princeville, and she has these retreats, and she's in Kundalini yoga, and she does all these healings. And so we started talking, and you could see in her eyes there's just a different vibe there. And from what I'm seeing is people that have put in the work for years and years and years and years, not just the food, not just the spirituality, but actually walking the talk. You can see a different level of human being. You know, you can feel them. You can feel their energy. You know, when they walk into a room, you can feel like they're like they're transmitting a completely different frequency. And I've done a lot of work over the 2 years, and I'm just a rookie, but like I could pick up on it. You know what I'm saying? Like this stillness. Like you could be still with somebody and someone walks across you, you can feel their energy. I mean, and like I'm running around with a bunch of Yodas around here. And I'm not kidding. There are some serious, it's almost like they're still human, but it's like they're hybrid humans because they've done so much work of that enlightenment. You know, from the fasting, 40, 50 days fasting, you know, tapping in spirituality, you know, the meditation, all of that stuff. There are some serious Yodas around here, and I can just feel them. And, you know, when I was mundane and the alcohol, the addiction to porn, eating the dead food, not loving myself, stressed out, not knowing who I am, who loves me, what is my circle, not having a family. You can't, when you have all of that going on, you can't stay in the moment. And when you have time, which I believe is currency, money is time, when you have that time and you sacrifice everything to have that time to put the work in, to really put the work in and find that peace and tap in and get those downloads, and you do that for 10, 15, 20 years, you all, I'm telling you, I've experienced it. There are people here that are doing that, and they're like hybrid humans, because they walk by you, catch their eyes. You don't even have to say anything. And there's a lot of them here on this island, and I'm really excited to get to play with them. Here's another thing, just generalization, I'm just ranting. If you're one of those people that I just talked about, that tail end of the enlightened, I all think that we're all children of the light. But if you're one of those people that have put that work in and you have more light than someone else, I challenge you right now. Share that with the people that don't have it, because I'm going to call a lot of you all out. A lot of you all out that have found that peace, found that quiet, found that light, found your medium, found, that enlightenment. I get it. You put the work in, you wanted that peace and quiet. Don't you think you should help the others? And I'm sure a lot of you all are helping others. But for me, if you find that light, that enlightenment, and you tap in and you have all of that inside of you, why not give it? Why not go find the people that need that? You all can hang around, and vibe on each other's frequencies, and I get it. But I think you do yourself a disservice not sharing your knowledge, not sharing your passions, your motivations, your tips, your tricks with the others that need it. I'm just saying, and that's just a generalization, but I like to go deep. I like to find people that need help. And I have a little bit of, I have a little toolbox full of, tips and tricks and things that work for me. If I just keep them to myself, who is that helping? Who is that helping? And this is my life mission, y'all. I want to tap into the highest. And when I do, as soon as I do, I'm going to give it away to whoever wants it. So you healed people, you enlightened people, it's cool to hang out with the same kind, but I challenge you to go hang out with the people on the streets, underneath the bridges, the people that are dumpster diving, the people that don't have any money, the people that are sleeping in trees. Go play with them, because they need your help the most. I love you all. Today's gonna be an amazing day. I think I gotta go to McDonald's one more time just to use the Wi-Fi. I just ate 2 bananas. I've got some dates, I got some water, and I get my bike in 2 days, and once I get my bike, y'all, it's gonna be a completely different thing. I'm gonna be on wheels, and I'm gonna go find some new ninjas, some new rad ninjas. I'm gonna tap in, and I'm really, 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 really excited about the opportunities that are in my future. So thank you all for the support. Hi Jeanette, hi Jennifer, hi Sharni, hi Tara, hi Victoria, hi Linda, hi Bridget, hi Becky, hi Victoria. Pretty pleased with the cherry on top, y'all. I don't want to ask for anybody to share these anymore, but like what I just shared with you, you all could share us just by hitting the share button. Share it in a couple groups, and write something. Sharing it's cool, but if you could share it and write something that you picked up from somebody of these comments, like Becky said, epic. Let's see. Linda wrote hyperhuman. So share it and then write something, so we can gift whatever we just shared, whatever just went on here, we can share that with people. That's our gift to the people that aren't in our grasp, aren't in, our reach of social media. So we can find them, and they might, see Victoria. Victoria just made a loving comment about about me and the group, and then Shayna. We need to find these people, just like I said, these healers, they have their retreats, and they have these gong sessions, and they have these cuddle puddles, and all this drum circle stuff. And I love it, I get it, but I'm a different cat, y'all. I'm gonna go find the real people that really need us, that can't afford anything, you know? The homeless, the people that don't have a box over their head, the hungry people, you know? The people that are hurting, the people that have been raped, molested, lied to, beaten on by society, the government, all of that stuff. Those are the people I'm gonna play with. I'm gonna play with everybody, and hopefully I can find a whole bunch of Yodas and a whole bunch of Rock and Rad Star Ninjas that are pissing glitter, smelling like peaches, levitating and meditating, and as soon as I get that, I'm going to the gutters and I'm gonna share that with those human beings. So if you all can help me, please share this video so we can help others, okay? Y'all stay tuned. Let's do this, y'all. I love you very much. Keep it raw. Stay rad.